Hi, welcome to the Nth Degree, where we talk about the latest trends, technologies, and innovations happening in the health and media spaces. I'm Amanda Preto, and I am pleased to welcome my guest, Dante Gleason, Director of Engagement Strategy here at CMI Media Group. We are going to dive into the evolving world of medical affairs. The landscape is more dynamic and critical than ever, navigating complex scientific advancements, evolving regulations, and heightened patient expectations. So, Dante is going to help us explore and uncover how pharma brands can successfully integrate commercial with medical affairs. So, let's get started. And I think we should get started right on that note. Hi, Dante. It's great to have you here.
Hi, Amanda. Thank you for having me.
Let's dive right in. So, talk to us about how pharma brands can do exactly what we just mentioned, compliantly, successfully integrate commercial and medical affairs into their digital media strategies.
Sure. So thanks, Amanda. Timing is definitely going to be key to make sure that both sectors can have their strategies achieved with justice. By strategically aligning tactical planning with both the medical affairs team and the commercial affairs team, each touch point for each individual physician can be orchestrated with success and intentionality with each individual dollar that we plan to spend. Instead of, force fitting one side because they're being done after with staggered planning, this cohesivity up front is definitely going to be important. Making sure that any kind of targeting discussions are done according to plan, making sure that KOLs and DOLs are split between commercial and medical affairs, respectively. This level of streamlining is going to be key to make sure that both strategies are achieved successfully. We do see this trend that there are convergences starting to happen where some manufacturers are having the discussion and increased visibility from medical affairs to commercial and vice versa, obviously in a compliant manner. So making sure that you can start to broach those conversations prior to planning starting is going to allow for the maximal level of success across the board.
Nice, perfect. Thank you for level setting us and our audience. So, Dante, where are you seeing some key opportunities for pharma brands? And I guess likewise, where are you seeing a couple of challenges to be on the lookout for?
Absolutely. So, especially with today being a very heightened digital landscape, this allows for the opportunity for precision targeting and messaging at the individual level. It allows us for the opportunity to get in front of each HCP with either a commercial or a medical message, depending on the strategy of each individual target, with precision and efficiency. It does allow for also the omni-channel landscape to continue to build for the medical affairs side as well, where we've been doing so on the commercial side. It allows for non-personal education to talk to the MSLs and really inform one another and make sure that we're continuing to educate these HCPs on a basis that is more personalized to each individual one of them. Now, when it comes to challenges, there are a lot of challenges that we're thinking through in terms of measurement, right? Where commercially, we're always thinking of RX and the ROI and making sure that we're driving the brand's business. Where medical is a little bit more different, but trying to find that lagging indicator that really identifies that we've driven success and impact for this given asset's media campaign. Secondly, obviously, with regulatory and compliance, this is a new and evolving space where we're trying to get educational messages out there. And with that comes making sure that we're doing so in a compliant manner and a safe manner that's not necessarily going to be risky and get anyone really in trouble for crossing any lines. Last but not least, it's going to be education. Just because, again, with this evolving landscape for medical directors to be educating targets in more of a media landscape, making sure that we can continue to educate them that there are safe ways of doing so in a compliant manner that we have done and that will continue to evolve to do so is definitely going to be an opportunity to make sure that they feel safe and confident in each of our recommendations that we're putting forth.
Nice. That all makes so much sense. Education, I think, is a theme I'm hearing you kind of pull through a lot of what you're sharing and a lot of your direction for our pharma brands. What's the landscape right now, Dante, from your perspective, and where do you think it's going?
I would definitely say it's continuing to grow as we speak. The way it was last year when I was planning for medical affairs is going to be different than how I'm planning for next year's medical affairs campaigns, Amanda. It's still very highly siloed at the moment, just because, as I mentioned, we want to make sure that we're being compliant and safe with the conversations we're having across medical and commercial teams, and making sure that each individual one of our client teams are feeling safe about the level of cohesion that we are bringing forth to the table. However, especially since we're still in that post-COVID world for the past couple years, the lack of face-to-face interactions with MSLs is continuing to remain that way. that doesn't eradicate the need for these medical conversations and educational conversations to be happening, which increases the need for non personal education. It increases the need for our digital media outlets that we work with for a variety of different suppliers and channels and tactics to make sure that we can provide that right educational message to the right physician. And the HCPs are also getting more engaged on social media and interactive mediums as well. They are looking into these places to provide their own 2 cents and provide their opinions, which allows the HCPs to be able to take that influential burden off of a manufacturer and have us a part of the conversation too in the same way. So leaning into those DOLs type spaces is definitely an opportunity that I do see us going into for the medical affairs side of the business.
All fantastic points and really great insights and a look ahead. Thank you, Dante. So, if we
Mhm.
were to leave our audience with one actionable recommendation today, what would it be?
I would say that it's building some sort of steering committee or some type of cohesive group that brings together a lot of different thought leaders from a variety of different aspects of a client team and an agency partnership. Medical directors, marketing and strategy leads, media strategists, what have you, regulatory and compliance, just to make sure that each of them are bringing a unique perspective of what they need to a given campaign prior to the planning process, really getting too far in the weeds. And every step you take, we're keeping every aspect of the spectrum really at the forefront of everyone's minds and making sure that we're doing so compliantly. It breaks down those silos. It allows for more conversations about what's happening on one side versus the other, again, in a safe and compliant manner, and making sure that regulatory compliance can really step in and say, we probably shouldn't go that route. It discusses more media terms and educational opportunities to have certain conversations at the forefront of everyone's minds and really kind of knowledge share. It also discusses measurement. Measurement's another big thing that I mentioned earlier, that finding ways to discuss what the true goals of a medical affairs campaign are versus a commercial campaign, and really discuss what the best ways to measure before, during, and after the campaign is in market is going to be crucial as well. Having those SMEs just in one group room meeting regularly is going to be super important for ongoing knowledge sharing, education, and really making the most of these campaigns that you can possibly do.
This is awesome. Thank you so much, Dante. I know this is only the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more to think about and to educate pharma and healthcare brands on in terms of medical affairs and that compliant integration, to your point. Thanks for being here, and thank you all for listening. We will see you next time.